Okay, well, welcome to meditation. And so first want to start out by talking a little bit about meditation because there's a lot of ideas about what meditation is and what you're supposed to do. So I'd like to just give you a little introduction. And we start out first just understanding how the mind operates. And the way our mind is our mind likes to travel. And I call it the great time traveler. It likes to travel to the past. So if you think about what happened yesterday, what happened 2 weeks ago, what happened when you were growing up, memories from the past, our mind travels to the past. Our mind also travels to the future. If you're thinking about what you're going to do later on today or this upcoming weekend, or if you're worried about how you're going to do an exam, then our mind is traveling to the future. And the present is what's happening right here, right now. So our mind travels in each of those three places, and it travels all the time. Most of the time we're not aware of that, but in meditation we become more aware of that our mind is traveling in different places. And it's not something that happens to just a few of us, it happens to every single person. So that's really important to keep in mind that our mind is going to travel. So when we meditate, the reason I bring that up is because most people think, when we meditate, we're supposed to be focused on one thing, and if our mind travels anywhere, then that's bad. And I'm either doing it wrong, or there's something wrong with my brain, and I can't do it. And that's completely wrong. So your mind will travel. It'll go all kinds of different places. It may go to your to-do list. What do I have to do today? It may go to worries you have. Again, that's completely normal. So whenever we notice that, our mind traveling, then all we want to do is, whenever we're aware of that, and it may be right away or it may be a little while before we're aware of that. When we're aware of that, then we want to accept that. Okay, our mind's traveled, it's traveled, so what? Accept that and then come back, okay? And depending on the type of meditation that we're doing, we may come back and focus on something particular. Maybe focus on the breath, maybe focus on a particular area of the body, such as the arm. So, those three things are important. First, awareness, noticing when our mind has traveled. Second, acceptance. And then the last part is letting go and returning back into the present moment. So those are the three things that we're developing in meditation. So again, it's not about I have to be focused right here, right in the moment all the time. And if my mind travels somewhere else, if that's bad or wrong, that's completely normal. Every single person, I've been teaching meditation for over 15 years, every single person's mind travels. The difference I like to explain between expert meditators and beginning meditators is that when expert meditators' minds travel, they think, oh yeah, of course. They don't freak out about it, they don't panic about it. So, in these meditations that you do, your mind will travel. And the most important thing is to say, okay, it's traveled. For the breath awareness meditation, which we'll do, we first start out talking a little about how do we sit in meditation. And so when using a chair, sit with feet flat on the ground, legs uncrossed. Your hands you can have relaxed in your lap. You can have them open like this, you can have them palms facing down, or you can have them in a circular type fashion with the thumbs touching. But sit in a comfortable position. Sitting also with your torso upright. So we say sitting upright with dignity for yourself and for your meditation practice. So we're not trying to be stiff at all, but we are sitting upright. We're not slouching over. Sitting in a chair, you can sit with your back against the back of the chair, or you can sit more upright with your back away from the back of the chair. The last aspect is your eyes. So with our eyes, what we want to do is one of two things. We can have our eyes open or closed. If your eyes are open, I encourage you to have your eyes slanted down towards the ground. So the reason that we have them slanted down towards the ground, roughly about a 45-degree angle, is to help prevent any kind of visual distractions. Obviously, if your eyes are closed, you're going to cut out all those visual distractions. Now, for anybody that's ever meditated, what will happen if you meditate long enough in terms of time or in terms of over a course of days or months, at some point you're going to start to feel tired and sleepy. Typically it's probably because you haven't got enough sleep for the day. But when that happens, know that that's normal. You may find yourself doing something like that. If you do, then it may be helpful to open your eyes if they're closed. And again, have them slanted down towards the ground. If you have your eyes open and slanted down towards the ground and you're still falling asleep, it may be helpful to stand up and meditate. There's nothing wrong. It's not required you have to sit down. You can stand up. Or you could do a moving meditation. There are all kinds of different meditations. A moving meditation may be better. Sitting with your feet flat on the ground, hands relaxed in your lap, and sitting upright with dignity for yourself and for your meditation practice. Eyes open or closed, your preference. And then starting the breath awareness meditation, we would focus on the breath. Again, as a reminder, your mind will begin to travel off somewhere other than the breath at times. Completely normal. Happens for everybody that's meditated and everybody that will meditate. When that happens, just noticing the breath, accepting and coming back, or noticing the mind traveling, accepting and coming back onto the breath. And as I said, I'll guide us through this. So sitting in your meditation position, feet flat on the ground, hands relaxed in your lap. Sitting upright with dignity for yourself and for your meditation practice. You can have your eyes open or closed, your preference. And for the chime of the bells, one chime will be to start. Sounds like this. And then 3 chimes will be to stop the meditation. Sounds like this. Oops. So go ahead and you can have your eyes open or closed, sitting in your meditation position. And let's tune in first to the sound of the bell. And follow the sound of the bell all the way through until it vanishes. And then shifting our awareness now to the breath, and just taking a couple 3 deeper breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth slowly. And just releasing the breath with each exhalation. And again, just on your own, 3 to 4 deep breaths in through the nose and releasing out through the mouth. And with each exhalation, just feeling the release of the breath, release of shoulders, release of thoughts as best you can. Just letting go with each exhalation. And after you've taken a couple deeper breaths, then just allowing the breath to settle into its own natural rhythm. So not trying to breathe in any particular way now, just allowing the breath just to be however it is. But still tuning into the breath. Notice it coming in, going out, coming in, going out. And notice the breath as it comes in. Is it coming in through the nose or the mouth? Either way is okay. Just seeing where it comes into the body for you, through the nose or the mouth. And then noticing where the breath goes out of the body. Does it go out through the nose or the mouth? Again, there's no right or wrong. It's simply just noticing where the breath moves for you. If it moves in through the nose and out through the mouth, or in through the mouth and out through the nose. And now shifting awareness to the chest and just observing. So much of meditation is about awareness and observing. And what we're doing is developing our observing mind, what we call our observing mind. So we're observing the movement of the breath in the body. So noticing the chest and observing, is the chest moving? So maybe it's moving a little bit, maybe it's moving a lot. Is it expanding out and then contracting in? Or maybe it's not moving at all. And again, there's no right or wrong here. We're simply just observing how the breath works for you. And if it is expanding in the chest, just observing, feeling that expansion. And then noticing the contraction, how the chest moves out, and then perhaps contracts back in or drops down. And observing the abdomen, and noticing, is the abdomen moving out, moving in? Is it, or maybe it's not even moving at all, and that's fine too. So just observing the movement of the breath as it happens with the abdomen, if it does. Once again, there may be expansion of the abdomen and then a contraction. Maybe the expansion is faster when it goes out and then slower when it releases. Or maybe it's just the opposite. Just seeing what you notice with the movement of the abdomen. And as we continue this breath awareness meditation, as I mentioned before, you may have already noticed your mind traveling different places, thinking about your to-do list, thinking about friends, wondering about the future, what's going to happen. And when it travels, completely okay. Very normal. Whenever you're aware of that, just accept and then return back onto the breath. And that's the practice that we are practicing. Then shifting awareness now to the shoulders, noticing the shoulders. Just being curious, are they moving or not? If they are moving, or whether they're not moving, either way, completely okay. If they are moving, perhaps they're moving up or out. Maybe they're moving up a little bit or a lot. And just observing then when they contract or when they relax. And now shifting awareness back to where the air comes into the body. If it comes in through the nose, noticing the temperature of the air as it comes in. Is it cool when it comes in? Is it warm? Is it hot? Or when it comes in through the mouth, is it cool, warm, hot? Just seeing what you notice. And then observing when the air goes out, or that goes out through the nose or the mouth, what temperature is it then? Cool, warm, hot. And again, no right or wrong, just observing what's happening with you. Again, maybe you're aware of the air coming in through the nose and out through the nose. And just noticing, is there a difference in temperature when the air comes in versus when the air goes out? Perhaps it's cool when it comes in and warmer when it goes out, whether it's coming in through the nose or the mouth. So just for a few breaths, just noticing if there's a difference, or maybe it's the same as the air comes in and goes out in terms of the temperature. And now for a few moments, just observing the sensation of the air as it comes in. It comes in through the nostrils, noticing as it brushes through the nasal cavity, feeling the movement of the air as it comes in. It comes through the mouth, observing that, noticing as it glides across the lips, into the throat, back into the body. And then observing when the air goes out, the movement of the air as it goes out, through the nose or through the mouth. Perhaps as it comes out through the nose, perhaps it brushes across that area just above the lips, between the nose and lips. If it comes out through the mouth, perhaps aware of it brushing across the bottom part of the lip, or maybe not. And again, if the mind's traveled off and you've noticed it maybe once, twice, or maybe many times, completely okay. So you're doing exactly what the meditation is, which is noticing, accepting, and returning back to the breath. And so, tuning into the breath once more, and just counting the length of the inhalation. So with each breath in, just in your mind, just counting the length of the inhalation. Is it 1 second, 1.5, 2 seconds, 3 seconds? And again, we're not trying to breathe in any particular way. We're just observing the length of the inhalation on its own. And now shifting and just noticing the length of the exhalation. 1 second, 2 seconds, 2.5, 3 seconds. And now combining them and just counting the length of the inhalation and then the length of the exhalation. And you can open your eyes if they're closed. And just taking your time as you come out of the meditation. Sometimes you may feel a little disoriented if your eyes are closed. So taking your time and just looking around you, not standing up. Okay, and so you just experienced the breath awareness meditation. And again, that practice is about developing 3 different skills. One of awareness, one of acceptance, where our mind travels, and the third is of letting go and returning back into the present moment. And so you may have noticed that your mind had traveled a few times or maybe many times. Again, either way, completely okay. And so that was the breath awareness meditation.